Let's see how to pick a random value from an array. I have here an array called users. Inside the users array we have usernames. This type of array is called an indexed array. That means that PHP is assigning on every value an index. Let's see how PHP sees the users array. We see that PHP is assigning an index on every value starting from the number 0. We can refer to the index also as key. PHP arrays are zero-based. That means that the first value has an index of 0, the second value has an index of 1, and so on. To get access on a value, let's say Dennis, we have to target the value's index, which is 2. So to pick a random name from the users array, we have to pick a random index. This is very handy because PHP has a function called Arrayrand. The Arrayrand function loops through an array and picks a random index. The Arrayrand function takes two arguments. The first argument is the array that we want to use, and the second argument is an integer which tells the function how many random indexes to return. In our case, we want only one random user out of the array. Let's assign the return index to the index variable. Now that we have an index, we can use it to get the associated name. We can say that random name is equal to users, and inside square brackets we pass in the index variable. Let's test this in the browser. But first, let's comment out the second users array because this will throw an error, and we have to echo the random name. Let's bring the browser in the screen and run the file. We see the name Bob. Let's reload again and we see our friend Tanya. Nice. Now let's go back to the PHP file and see how we can pick more than one random users. Let's delete the last two lines and let's say we want 3 random names this time. This time the Arrayrand function returns an array that holds the 3 random picked indexes. So let's change the index variable to indexes. Now to get access to the random picked usernames, we have to loop through the indexes array and fetch every value as index. We are going to use again the users array and pass in square brackets the current index. Let's add a BR tag to our output so we can echo the names in different lines. Let's bring back the browser in the screen and run the file. And we see Bob, Peter and Tanya. Let's reload again and this time we see Bob, Dennis and our friend Sophia. Let me say that the Arrayrand function will not pick the same index twice in one call. That means that there is no way that we get the same username twice. This is one way how to get random values from an array. Another way is to use the shuffle function. The shuffle function takes as an argument the array we want to shuffle. Shuffle means reorder or rearrange a stack of items. The shuffle function works by removing any existing key in the users array and assign to each value a new random one. Let's do a var export on the users array and see this on the screen. Let's bring back the browser and run the file. We see the names are rearranged. Now focus on the first name with index 0. In the original users array we have Bob. After running the shuffle function we have Tanya. Let's run the function again. Now we see Bob again, but every other name is rearranged. Let's run the function one more time. This time the index 0 is pointing to Dennis. So to pick a random name, the thing that I have to do is to target the 0 index and display the value. Let's do that. I'm gonna say echo users and inside brackets I will pass in the number 0. If I want a second random name, I will use the index 1. Let's put a BR tag between the names and run the file in the browser. Let's bring the browser one more time in the screen and run the file. We see the names Bob and Tanya. Running the file again, we see Tanya and Sophia. This is the second way on how to pick random items by using the shuffle function. Now it is easier to use the shuffle function, but have in mind that the user's array is now reordered and will stay this way until the end of the file's execution. So if you have something else to do with the user's array, you might need to have this in your mind. And in this point we reach the tutorial's end. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.